we do have our friend, Howie Carr. Howie, I don't know, you didn't put enough dimes in the payphone. Hey, we're glad to have you here on America's Forum.
I'm on the Skype now. If you can get me on the Skype, I'm holding the phone here to talk to you now.
But it's just because you're ready to, and we have a wonderful picture of you, Howie. I think it's one of your pinups from earlier, one of the autographed photos we have. We want you to know that we're joined by Miranda Kahn today, as well as John Bogman, to talk about this. You hear the information about the Russians? Are they just playing us for patsies? What's going on here?
I don't really think so. I think this is just one of these situations where there's just way too much bureaucracy, JD. You know, it's hard for the FBI to keep track of all these people as they're letting in all these people, you know, who want asylum, who want to be political refugees. And you know, they have a finite number of people trying to cover an infinite number of foreigners that are coming into the United States. And you know, I'm not defending the FBI, but I'm not surprised that with the kind of caseloads they've got, that they go back to these agents in Boston and say, "Do you remember Tamara Lane?" And the agents say no. It's to be expected, I think.
But is there a lesson to be learned here?
A lesson to be. I mean, I think the same lesson that is to be learned is the same one that we should have learned after 9/11. I mean, the fewer people we let into this country, especially from these terrorist hotbeds, the easier it's going to be to control them. I mean, I read on the air yesterday an op-ed piece by Harry Reid from the LA Times in 1994, and he was talking about cutting the illegal immigration in by 2/3. I mean, that's what has to be done. I mean, if you know, what would it be like if FDR and Congress had continued to let Germans and Japanese come into the country? And we weren't even keeping tabs on Germans and Japanese coming into the country after Pearl Harbor. I mean, I think we would have had a lot more terrorism than we did in 1941 through 45.
Howie, you are right on target with this. Border security is national security. Immigration policy is our national security policy. And everybody is whistling past the graveyard trying to rationalize an influx of illegals from our southern border and people coming in from these terror nations seeking political asylum. If we can't do the job right now, why on earth would we have this? And boy, you couple this with what Jeff Sessions said on the Senate floor yesterday, that he believes the Obama administration now is deliberately slowing down even more law enforcement in terms of immigration law. This is a recipe for continued disasters.
Right, JD, you saw yesterday. I mean, another person from a Muslim country trying to claim asylum status. In this case, Morocco. The guy's been here 6 years. He was building airplane bombs to shoot at federal buildings and college campuses. And he told the undercover FBI agent, I'm gaming the system, just like the Tsarnaevs were gaming the system. I mean, so you would think if they were serious about doing something about this problem of terrorists coming in here under this phony baloney asylum program, they would have stopped this guy from Morocco, but they're still letting them in. They're pouring in, and I have a feeling, you know, if the Democrats lose the Senate in 2014, that Barack Obama is going to be issuing a lot more executive orders to let tens of thousands of more of these people into the country.
Well, it's an important topic, so much so, Howie Carr, that it energized, it animated you. We have you now on Skype. You look just as good as you did in the still photo, and we continue on with these very different points. But it is true, if you fail to enforce immigration law, you are setting yourself up for these kind of problems. And if you allow people to exploit asylum, you have the same kind of situation. And right. I'm talking as a guy, 9/11, Hani Hanjour, one of the pilots, actually was training on a flight simulator at the Scottsdale Airport in my congressional district in Arizona, unbeknownst to all of us. So these are very dangerous situations we allow to continue.
But how can you enforce this?
Oh, it's
Who's going to pay to enforce this?
Well,
I mean, that's what's been.
and this gets back
Pay
to
to
first
enforce
priority.
what? I mean, you close the borders. I mean, you just don't let them in, and you don't automatically give rubber stamp political refugee status. I mean, look, the most famous political refugee, I would say, in the United States died this week. Auntie Zatouni. Barack Obama's aunt up here in Boston. She had been here for 20 years, never worked a day in her life, automatically went on welfare, no anchor babies, none of that stuff. Just got in, took an apartment away from an American veteran, went to the head of the line because she was a refugee.
It's a real problem, Howie.
She was taken care of.
We're going to have to stop it there. We're caught with time. Howie Carr, we thank you for your thoughts as always. Don't go away. There's more to come on America's Forum.